Hi, sixth grade. We are going to create a new project and we're going to go back in time to an era of kings and queens and knights and roughly about 400 to 1450 AD, where books were made by hand. All of the letters, all of the illustrations, all of the embellishments were created by artists and different craftsmen in the system. For our project, we're going to focus on the capital letter. Inside of those capital letters are lots of different designs, and we're going to use either your first initial or last initial to come up with a decorative illuminated letter. To begin, we're going to complete this worksheet. You're going to print your name at the top, your class, and the date. Then you are going to learn how to create a bubble letter as well as a block style of lettering. Let's begin with how to create a bubble letter. I'd like you to print your first and last initial in each of the boxes. The next step is to go around the outside area of your letter without actually touching it. You'll want to leave a little bit of space and curve around any of the edges. Feel free to pause the video and look at an example of a bubble style of lettering and use that as a reference. Once you're done tracing the outside and the inside of the letter, you are going to erase what you originally printed. Now let's create a block style of lettering. To create this style, you are going to use straight lines and edges. Any area that has a corner, you're going to change direction and then create a new line. In a block style of lettering, you will not have the curves that you would see in a bubble letter. Again, feel free to pause the video and look at either of these alphabet examples of block letters as a reference. When you're done, you can erase the inside of the block letter. Both letters should have an empty space when you are done. In the next part of this worksheet, you're going to list 4 different hobbies or interests that you have or things that you're good at, and then draw a symbol to represent each one. If you need help, you can use Google to look up clip art to symbolize each thing. On the back of your worksheet, you're going to create 2 different patterns. Organic shapes are shapes that resemble items from nature, and geometric shapes have straight lines and corners. You can use each one in a repeated pattern for each column. I'll start with the organic. In this column, we are going to draw a vine. And to start off, you'll create a wavy line and a second wavy line that is parallel, meaning equally distant. Then we will add some leaves. The leaves can be curved and should be relatively small. For the next column, you're going to create geometric shapes, and these are ones with straight lines and corners. You're going to start somewhere in the middle with a square or a triangle or a diamond, and then repeat that shape in a symmetrical pattern from top to bottom. That means whatever shape you create at the bottom, you will want to duplicate that in the space above. So notice how these two triangles are pointed in opposite directions. As you continue to draw, you will need to leave a little space between your shapes, but I'd like you to try to draw them as if they were puzzle pieces, meaning if you were to push them together, the edges would match. This may take a little bit of time, but it will be a great exercise in your creativity. Here are my finished patterns. I added flowers to the organic one and made sure that the shapes filled the design on the geometric one. When you are finished the front and the back of your worksheet, you're going to add color and take a picture of it to submit to Schoology. The front of the worksheet goes to assignment letter C, and the back of the worksheet goes to assignment letter D. Both are in the red All Graded Assignments folder for fourth marking period. Next class, we'll talk about what to do with these images and how to import them into your final project. Here are some examples from last year. Okay, thanks everybody. Make sure you submit your assignment to Schoology.